I'm gonna take care of it.
I got you.
Coming in the middle, coming in the middle.
Alrighty, gentlemen, welcome to the show. Those of you out there watching, I threw up a quick broadcast for the guys. We only got 15 drivers tonight, so I figured I'd hurry up and try to throw this up there. I'm gonna do a quick drivers briefing with the drivers, and I'll be back with you guys here in a moment.
Yeah.
Not here. I'm not against it.
Not against it.
I am. No, no, no. Don't pay out 8 spots. Maybe pay 4 spots, but break it up. Where it's
About 5.
Yep.
No.
Think about that.
just wants to do like a structured step down. First gets more, second gets a little less, third gets something, maybe even up to 4 positions is his only objection.
Well, the problem is with this smaller field, if you don't win the race, you're not even going to break even if you chop it up to 8 places.
Yeah, I would. Full payout sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
Green, green, green.
And we're off, folks. Sunday night money racing with FEG. We only got 15 cars on the track tonight. So we should see some pretty good green flag racing. So out in front right now is John Mullahan. You'll see the 2 lines starting to form up. The biggest thing is our first 2 laps of any start or restart, we do not allow 3 wide. So you'll see them just staying in step here. Then on lap 3, you'll see them start making some moves. Right now, John Mullahan with an I rating of 1,423 is currently in the top there. I was just giving a good a briefing for the guys there. That's why we were momentarily muted. So.
Jesse was a little odd, maybe something not quite right. Other than seeing him on the school bus, I don't think.
Tonight's race is a 60-lap affair. The guys do have 2 green-white checkers and 1 fast repair. The fast repairs on the super speedways are more to not give them a second chance for making a stupid mistake, but for, as we all know, we are on the internet, so we don't want net code or something like that to ruin someone's night. That's not saying net code can't strike twice, because it can, but at least it gives them 1 extra chance due to net code. So. If you have any questions or whatever about the races, the money races we run, which are Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, with Fridays being a doubleheader, just give us a holler. I am going to be watching the comments there, so I should be able to hopefully answer a lot of you guys' questions if you have any. If you don't have any, enjoy the race.
We're not exactly sure what's going on with those boys. They may be involved in a triple homicide. I believe they're armed. There was a fear and concern that
What's up, Trenton?
might kill somebody else.
Way to get your boy out there, Justin. That's awesome. Hey, Steven, how you doing, bud? Hope to join. Yeah, I really hope you come out there. You don't have to join the races to click on the Discord link and join us in there, and then you'll be notified of all the all the money races we have. What's up, OSR Network? If you guys see OSR Network there, go ahead and click on his name and subscribe to him. He's actually our main broadcaster. Nights like tonight where we have smaller fields, we don't utilize broadcaster. Occasionally I'll fill in, or we don't have one at all. But that's Joe. In case you guys know him as Joe White. Joe White, infamous Joe White. I shouldn't say infamous. That makes it sound bad. Famous. I want Joe to give me a critique tonight on a scale of A- to A+. We ain't going under A's, even if it's an F. We want to go ahead and get that going. I want him to grade me. His pay is commensurate with how he grades me tonight. Woo. Let's give you guys a different look there. John Mullahan still out front. Eddie Hawk second. Stephen Page third. Merckx fourth. Jay Dargent in fifth. Biggest mover of the night right now is Mr. Merckx. Let's get closer onto his car there. Mr. Merckx is our biggest mover so far, up 10 spots. Up 10 spots.
Hey, you get it done every same spot every lap. That way I know where to be to push you.
The Subaru Crosstrek.
Alrighty.
Dog tested. Dog approved.
So like I said, I hurry them through up this broadcast real fast. So, but it is what it is. We've got something to look at. Got 15 drivers here out on the track tonight. Let's take a look here. Let's lock on John Mullihan and then take a look backwards. You can see him riding up on him right there. Again, we're riding on board with Mr. Mullihan. He's got Eddie Hawks pushing him. Eddie Hawks is one of our drivers who, because of, I don't want to say a handicap, but because of he doesn't use pedals, his gas and his brake is actually on his wheel, which is pretty awesome. A lot of skills got to be taken into account there, but he's behind John Mullihan right now. You can see the 57 of Jay Dargent creeping up on the second line right now. That's Jay Dargent. Let's get on back of his car there. Marine's there, so thank you for his service there. Take a look at him going on there.
Or whatever you throw its way. Find yourself in paradise with your favorite ingredients and whip up a delicious smoothie.
But yeah, right now they're just rolling around. 60 lap affair. Jay Dargent currently out front. Let's get on board with Jay Dargent and see what it's like from his vantage point inside his cockpit. Inside his cockpit. Let's jump in.
Enjoy 15 full-blown blends of free express
on board with Jay right now. He is our current race leader. Jay's got a 2,101 I rating with a license of B 2.63. Our strength of field tonight is a little over 2,000. A little over 2,000. This is newer software for me, so I'm kind of just learning the ropes here. As we go. But the boys are getting after it. You're just waiting for the top of the hour, Joe? What do you got? You got a broadcast to do? If you do, go ahead and drop the link down here. That way anyone watching here can go ahead and hop on over to yours when this one ends. Thanks, Joe. I'm doing fine. That's true. I do not broadcast, but I like to do it every now and then for the guys when we don't have one scheduled. Definitely, this wasn't scheduled, but the guys can get a little back. They can go back and see some things, hear my mess ups, things like that. So everybody is still on the lead lap. We have 70% fuel tonight. We typically have about 50, so they're going to be able to go a little bit longer than normal. I'm not really sure what that's going to equate to as far as how long they can go right now. I'm going to guess around 25. I don't know. Maybe Joe knows a little more. He broadcasts quite a few. And and is on top of all their pit strategies, so I'm pretty sure he probably knows about how many laps. But I'm going to guess around, maybe not 25, maybe 22, 21. Might even be less than that, actually. I don't know. What do you guys think out there? Go ahead and toss down a number for me. How many laps you think they can go on 70% fuel?
There wasn't a clear move for the murders. I thought we might have a good chance of getting the youngest to go. It was mousy, it was impressionable. I just learned that this was a Butch truck.
Let me know how the stream looks. Does it look choppy? How's my voice coming through? Is it too high? Is it too low? You guys are my tech guys out there, because I don't have a person with me. I'm race admin, doing all that stuff all at once. The YouTube says excellent connection, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's an excellent connection.
Now we know that isn't the truth, Jesse. Tell us what happened to that feeling.
Okay, so Joe says if it's about 50% fuel, that's 16. So that means 75% would be 24. So take 5% off of that. You're looking at a tenth of 16. So 19 laps. Man, that math really came in handy. 19 laps. 19 laps, Joe. That's my mathematics.
Crazy about that lady. Who was?
That would be my mathematics, sir. That's how many they can go. Now, I don't know if I don't really expect them to go the full 19. A lot of the guys will go in a little bit earlier so that they can take no tires and try to gain some time on fuel dispersed. So obviously, if you go in early, you disperse less gas, meaning you're in the pits the least amount of time. Now, with that said, I don't know how much time that's going to shave off, but every second counts, especially if you go green. A small field like we have tonight of 15 drivers, you could very well go green and right up until the end. So, and at the end, you're not going to go in the pits anyway. So, you can see old Jay Dargert is got that top line working pretty good with Stephen Page pushing him, and behind him you got the 28 of Justin K. 28 of Justin K. Let's drop back on him, and we'll ride on board of his hood and see what that looks like. We're riding on board right now with Justin K. You can see how close he's getting up to Page. But yeah, they're on lap 15 now, so they all will have to, by my calculations, jump into the pits within the next 4 laps. We have a 60-lap race, so you're going to have to pit 3 times. How they decide to do it is the strategy that they'll be pulling on. Let's take a look and see who's behind Justin K. Looks like Jeffrey Merck. Jeffrey Merck is giving him a push on that top line. On the bottom line, you see there, John Mullahan with Eddie Hawks behind him. Good stuff, good stuff. Trying to show you guys different angles. Put a little bit of sound in here for you. Like I said, because I don't have. Oh well, I guess some of it's in. I didn't really actually set it all up for a stream, so. There's Jeffrey Merck. That's who we're looking at right now. I'll put up his info there. It's the number 60 car. It's a nice looking car. Go back and look at some other cars there. Let's go back and look at Kenneth McCullough. He's in the 03 car there. Let's see if we can get a closer look at his car. I'm gonna have to make a camera setting where we can see the car a little better and name it something. But we can go ahead and ride on the hood. Riding along with Mr. McCullough of McCullough's Motorsport. Now, here's the thing with Kenny. Kenneth McCullough, he's not going to like me putting this bullseye on his back, but Kenneth McCullough has probably earned the most amount of money of all the drivers on here. You see, we've got a couple going down pit road now. Let's watch Kenny here. Let's stay on board here with him as he meanders through the field. Let's take a look and see what's going on behind him. So this, I'm assuming that this pack here is obviously going to pit coming up here. My calculation has them at 19 laps. Now, if you're running out front, it's going to be less laps. See if these guys go in or not.
He held her underwater, still hold her throat.
Yeah, 70%, Joe. Let's see if they go in here.
He told me hold her feet.
That way we can kind of see, you know, the speed that's going on here and what it's like to get yourself into the pits here. We're going to stay on board with Kenny. With hell yeah, Kenny. That's what he says when he wins. Hell yeah.
The idea of Susan Evans, a stalker.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look.
Just completely out of the blue. We never thought about it. I don't think.
All right, so this will be lap 20 here.
I think
So they are pushing it.
he was a psychopath. I think he was broken beyond repair. He got what he deserved.
Let's take a look. I'm assuming they're going to go down here. Nope, not yet.
I think Jesse should have got the death penalty right next to Mark.
Not yet. They must have another one. We'll stay on board.
I hate you and I wish you were dead. Pure evil. There's just no other way to describe Mark or Jesse other than pure evil.
I think it's important to remember my family. I miss them.
I just, of course I remember them when they were like that, and it's just hard.
Is it possible that they went down without me knowing? I think they did, Joe. We'll stay on with them one more time here.
They all have smiles. It's hard to see.
This is a poem I wrote for Adrian and read at her funeral. Dear Adrian, in our sadness and our grief, our nerves are shaking like a leaf. And if there were phones in heaven, yours would be ringing off the wall. But now I know you're safe from harm.
Let's see what goes on here.
Protected by God's strong and loving arms, love mating Cox.
I'm thinking they're still going.
Executed by the state of Missouri in 2017. This has been People Magazine Presents Crimes of the 90s.
We'll go back on board him if we see them going down. Yeah, because we're looking at the pit stop strategy that I got going on right there. You can see that they have their stint length so far is 22, so they have not went in yet. They have not went in yet. They are going in now.
The story that she told me was a love story.
Teacher Mary Kay Letourneau was in court today accused of a shocking crime.
I couldn't have imagined that she would do what she did in a million lifetimes.
The 35-year-old had sexual relations with a boy when he was just 13 years old.
Billy would walk down the street and people would honk their horn, men and women. Way, Billy, way to go, boy, yeah! He was a lucky little stud, but she's a hot babe.
This case was so shocking.
Alrighty, so that's what we got there.
People think because she's beautiful, she can do no wrong. But let's not forget, this woman raped a child.
They had Mary Poppins one day, and they had an evil witch the next day.
I did something that I had no right to do, morally or legally.
I don't believe that Mary Kay's story has really been told. She and I shared a wound that was very deep. Some of the things I'm going to say are not going to be very popular, but truth is truth and it needs to be told.
All right, let's go back out to race leader Stephen Page. They are in line now. They are in line.
We spend a lot of time at this beach.
So they can go 21, 22 laps,
My
guys.
name is Michelle Abdel.
That's what we came up
I grew
with.
in Newport Beach, California.
Quickest pit stop of the
Newport Beach is a
night
beautiful
was
place to grow up, and in the summertime, it's heavenly.
Stephen Page,
One day,
our race leader.
this girl showed up at my house with her mother, and I was introduced to Mary Kay, and they took us to the beach and dropped us off, and we were inseparable after that. We were both super outgoing, and she had a very bubbly, outgoing personality. It was like sunshine when you saw her. We were both beach girls. We loved to get a tan. We loved to swim in the ocean. And then as we got older, we had little boyfriends. And I remember one of her boyfriends. His name was PJ Kylie.
God, that guy's handsome. I see Justin Bieber hairdo before Justin Bieber was around.
Just going back through the field.
She was Mary Kay to me. She was the most beautiful girl in our school, and I gravitated towards her. I don't know if you remember the Ditto jeans way back then, but she rocked them. All the boys at school would chase her around, you know, and she was fast as heck. She had some legs on her, and she was bigger than life when she was on. Well, the thing that stood out to me the most was she got dropped off to school in a Mercedes-Benz, and nobody in our school had a Mercedes.
Riding on board right now, Chase Pierce, out of Lexington, North Carolina. This right here, Chase is in the 11th place right now. That's Ryan Strunk in front of him, looking at 10th. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a battle for 10th, but you're looking at 10th and 11th. Now we're on board with Strunk. Keeping a little bit of a distance from McCullough, but staying within the draft.
I'm a longtime journalist.
Riding on board with Alex Hill now.
And wanted to follow it through all the way to the end. Trying to understand it really meant digging into Mary Kay Letourneau, the person. You know,
On board with Mr. Justin K. Trent Briley, who's watching, was sponsored his ride tonight in tonight's race.
That was my wife, Mary. We have been happily married for 15 years, which isn't a bad average out of 8.
Hello. Getting a little squirrely up there, look like.
Mary's father was Dash
Cushing.
Jump on board with Jay now. Riding up alongside of Mullahan.
In 1972.
Behind Mr. Eric M. Wilson. Going to give him a little push here. Now, do you know that Jay, in the 57 car that we're in right now, and you see the one in the left-hand corner of your screen, they are teammates.
He portrayed himself as the
So,
king of morality.
in order for Jay to get past Wilson, he will have to push Wilson in front of his teammate.
He stood for morality. That was the biggest thing.
Now we're riding back on board with Eric. You can see he's getting a push right now from Jay. Coming up there a little bit.
She was very proud of that.
Now we're on board with Steven.
He adored Mary Kay, called her Cake, Mary Kate. And when her dad was around,
Looking back at him now.
she shone, and she just loved her father.
But yeah, a green flag affair right now. Yesterday's didn't go complete green, but it did go
John G. Smith's
quite a bit
wife was
green.
the perfect political.
And then on Friday we had double headers where both of those went green right up until the very end. So a lot of green flag racing.
Helped further the image of the family being almost.
Let's see here. So race leader Stephen Page, he's got a 1700 I rating. I won't add on the little bits there. Eric Wilson's 3100. Let's see who our high I rating of the night is. Justin K. Justin K is our highest I rating guy tonight with a 5,314 I rating. Our lowest would be 731 and our highest 5,314. So there's quite a mix of not necessarily experience but of speed. However, with the super speedways here, that I want to say this without saying that there's no skill involved here. There is absolute skill involved here. If there wasn't, a lot of the same guys wouldn't be winning it all the time. That's not how luck works. I would say that you have to put together a complete race at the super speedways to include pit stops in order to win these things, especially when they go green. Because all the cars can pretty much go as fast. They do all go as fast as each other. So the skill gap between the best guys and the lowest guys are significantly decreased. The skill gap just isn't as far. So you have to win in other ways, like pit stops, being able to use other skills that you wouldn't normally have to use on other tracks, like how good can you hold a line. All these things are what will propel you to the front, and why you see a lot of the same guys, regardless of I rating, up front, because they have a certain skill set that's required here at super speedways. Hopefully I kind of gave you a little glimpse of how this works here. Oh, Trenton says that his boy that I was just talking about is a Mr. K, Justin K, is also a very good stud in dirt road. So there you go. And he also runs an FEG PC. Yeah, I would say that we've been selling PCs for close to 6 years, and we have over 6,000 PCs out. The majority of those is to iRacing drivers, maybe a fifth of that out to flight sim guys. And on the oval side, any race that I get into, there's 2 or 3 guys that have an FEG PC. In fact, a lot of the NASCAR guys and a lot of the Coke Series guys, like Malik, I don't know if you guys all know Malik or not, he's got an FEG PC. A lot of streamers do. A lot of pro NASCAR drivers from the pandemic, they also have FEG PCs. So in short, there's always 2 or 3 guys in every single official race on the oval side that have an FEG PC. So pretty thankful for the community out there, and a lot of fun.
Sex outside of marriage, and sex education.
45 minutes into it, we are still green flag racing.
We thought it was hilarious.
Still green flag racing.
Without control of our sex urges, where can this road
Are you part of the team? Yep, you are. Trenton is part of the team on the dirt side.
Yes, pregnancy.
If you guys are interested in running NASCAR, our Monday night league is on Mondays, obviously. And you can feel free to join that as well. You can feel free to join that as well. It is $3 a race or $15 a segment. Segments are five races long. And each race pays out $100. And there's a segment prize at the end as well for the segment champion. And the segment's points reset as well. So it's kind of nice. Everyone gets a free reset after 5 races. Say you have a couple bad races, it's not going to kill you. And there's also an overall championship, which the prize for that is a direct drive wheel. So.
Mary Kay seemed like she wanted to break the rules more than adhere to them. She was a rebel for sure.
Every Thursday night, they had massive parties on the road, which is, where all the sorority and fraternity houses were.
So again, Joe with OSR Network. You can see him, and he's chatted a little bit in the comments there. Go ahead and click on his name and like and subscribe over there. That's where we really have our races. This is just a one-off that I did for the guys tonight to let them have a little fun, watch themselves tonight.
But with all the bright, bubbly personality, there was always seemed like there was some darkness. I attribute all that to her family life.
In July of 1982, I picked up the paper, and there was a headline across the front of it.
We are now at lap 36, moving right along. Everybody's still in the game.
With a woman that had been a student of his.
We have 2 guys off the pace, which would be Chad Ross and Owen Joyce. You can see Chad Ross is being pushed by Eddie Hawks, and that's to keep him only 1 lap down. That way when a caution does fly, he does get the lucky dog and can go around and get on the lead lap. Now that is teamwork there. Eddie likely dropped back behind there to pick up his partner. Let's look forward and see if there's... Yeah, you can see the lead pack is way out there, but this is what you need out there. You got a friend out there who can keep you on that lead lap, or at least keep you so that you can get that lucky dog, and you'll be in business.
I noticed a very, very palpable change in her after the story about her dad dying. The whole facade of the family fell apart, and it was like Mary Kay did a 180. Like, she just changed like that. She ended up imitating her father. She repeated what he did, but on a
Alright, let's go back out to the lead cars. So you can expect these guys, my guess is that since you can definitely go 20 laps, and they might want a lap or 2 for caution, stuff like that. I'm assuming that these guys will start pitting in about... Ryan Strunk has already just pitted. He just went down pit road. I was going to say they're going to start pitting in 2 or 3 laps. So Strunk, he is in the pits. His whole crew, Kenneth, Alex Hill, Larry McDonald, Jeff Shell, they're all in there.
Avoiding triggers but still get migraine attacks?
They're all in there.
Help prevent migraine attacks. Qulipta gets right to work. Keeps attacks
Riding on board Ryan Strunk.
is a preventive treatment for episodic migraine. Most common side effects are nausea, constipation, and tiredness. Ask your doctor about Qulipta.
Now those cars will wait up for him because they're going to be faster, obviously. They're going to be faster, obviously, working together.
The all-new 2 for $5 menu at Sonic. Choose a Fritos chili cheese wrap, small jumbo popcorn chicken, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. Just $5. The 2 for $5 menu, only at Sonic or in the app.
Go ahead and hit that thumbs up for me, guys. What it does is it helps me with the algorithm, and the more you guys comment there, so it'll propel me to the front of the YouTube algorithm, get more eyes on us. But yeah, like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps me out. You see some guys coming off pit road now. They have to merge on safely, of course, because these guys are going pretty quick.
HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain.
But yeah, hit that like and subscribe for me. I really appreciate it. And just drop a comment in there where you're from. I'm from Messina, New York. Well, I shouldn't say from Messina, New York. That's where I'm broadcasting from, Messina, New York. Let me know where you guys are at. You don't have to give your address. You can just give your state.
Ask their doctor about HPV vaccination today.
Give every morning a fresh start with a Jimmy Dean Delights breakfast. They're chock full of protein and ingredients you want. From wraps to bowls to sandwiches. You'll never have the same old again.
We're delighted and hope you will try it.
Meet Zach. His work-life balance is anything but balanced. But when he gets on the bike, he becomes Zen-Zach. Zen-Zach exists outside of time. His heartbeat sounds like a mellow drum circle.
So 2 guys are off the lead lap. That would be Chad Ross and Owen Joyce. Everybody else is on the lead lap. Currently, Chad Ross is the lucky dog winner, as long as he doesn't get caught up in the wreck, which likely isn't going to happen. Right now, you're looking at the top 3 of Alex Hill, Kenneth McCullough, and Ryan Strunk. And then behind them, we have a second pack, which is Jeff Merck, Justin Kay, and Jay Darger. Chase Pierce is catching up. You see him; he's the 4th straggler. And then we have a 3rd group of guys, which is John Mullahan, Eric Wilson, and Stephen Page. So those guys are the 3rd pack. 4th pack is Eddie Hawks, Jeff Shell, McDonald.
Everyone gets a free new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 with the Galaxy trade-in.
Larry McDonald just a little bit further back, but he's still within the draft. I'm sure they'll back up a little bit and pick him up, because you're always going to be better off with more drivers in a pack. See if he can close up that gap. I'm pretty sure he will. What happens is you get in that slipstream and it pulls you along. Less turbulence.
She's like, I'll see you in the morning.
So yeah, he's closing the gap slowly.
That's all you can think about.
I want my daughter home.
He's getting there slowly. I'm watching the gap go down.
We're still actively interviewing potential persons of interest.
Seeing Daniel in my dreams, I'm going to find my son.
My guess is he'll have him in the next 2 laps at the current rate that it's going.
In 1983, Mary Kay's 21. She attends Arizona State University and decides she wants to be a teacher. She meets Steve.
Nah, he's falling behind now.
He's from Alaska. She thinks he's kind of dashing and handsome, and so they start a relationship. The next thing
Riding
you know,
on board now with Jay Darger.
And my first impression was, this guy is not for her. He just wasn't up to her level. Intellectually, spiritually, there was no depth of relationship. A few months after Mary Kay met Steve, I got a
You're
call
looking at 4th, 5th,
that
6th,
she
and
was
7th
pregnant.
there. Jeff Merck, 28 of Justin Kay,
Been talking
57
to her
of Jay Darger,
and the decision was made that she
and
had
then
to be
Chase Pierce behind him.
I was like, wow, fast. Didn't expect it. So after they got married, you know, the next thing I knew, she was moving to Anchorage, and then they finally settled in Seattle.
Mary Kay and Steve Letourneau moved into our neighborhood. Normandy Park, it's a very wooded area southwest of Seattle. It's right along Puget Sound, which is just this beautiful body of water right out there. We were all thrilled to have a new family move in. Mary and I were friends. We had a lot of connections. We were both moms. We both were school teachers in the same district. I choose to be anonymous in this interview because when the news of Mary Kay and Billy broke, as a teacher and as her friend, I had people who basically shunned me or scolded me. How can you be friends with her? My children were affected by it. They had friends who would no longer play with them.
14 laps remaining, boys. 14 laps remaining. Let's go back out front to the race leaders. Alex Hill, Kenneth McCullough, and Ryan Strunk. Strunkity Dunk.
Steve is working at SeaTac Airport as a baggage handler, so they don't have a lot of money. And the kids keep coming. Very shortly after the first baby, they have another baby, and soon they have 4 children. And this is a very busy, hectic life. They sort of lived tag team parenting lives. So she would take care of the kids. He would work at night. She would go to school.
Let's take a look and see how they qualified. This is how they qualified. As you can see, qualifying doesn't necessarily mean anything, but that is the qualifying results. And then now let's take a look at the practice results.
You would rarely see her without lipstick, either bright pink or bright red or something. I always wondered if her kids would have big
Completely
lipstick
different.
on their cheek from her because she loved her bright lipstick. Mary taught at Sherwood Elementary, which was up
Looking at the
north
top
in
3, let's
the
drop back to the next pack, which is only 3 seconds behind. As a matter of fact, we can get on board with Ryan Strunk and look backwards, and you can see how close that other pack is. But they got to gain that 3 seconds in the next 12 laps before the race ends. I don't think that they'll get there.
It's always been a very diverse culture in White Center. When our children
I don't think that they will get there
it's like the melting pot.
in time without there being a wreck.
On the left with the flag, and then we're coming up on Billy's house right here. This is where he grew up.
Let's go back to that second pack. You can see they're like a straightaway behind.
This is my husband Dean, the love of my life.
But yeah, it's a tough deal here. Green flag racing all the way through. They're chasing down that back. They got 4 guys here to the other guy's 3. But looking at the gap, it does not look like it's decreasing. It's not getting any more, but they're both putting down about the same laps. Maybe a little bit faster here on the second one, the second guys, but not significantly enough to make a difference. They're going to need a little help. Someone's probably going to have to wreck for these guys to get up there. Top 4 is being paid out tonight due to the 15 cars. We typically have 8 payouts, but no sense in paying out 8 drivers with only 15 cars. You're really setting down the cash flow out to them. So, but right now it's looking good.
He had a passion for art and was recognized by many people as having kind of an unexpected and beyond his years talent.
Is that a water bottle glistening in the corner?
There are a lot of Pacific Islanders moving to the Seattle area. Suna, she's working at dead-end jobs as cashier.
There you go. Merk, you didn't throw out that water bottle, did you?
His mother's working so hard to support the family. His father's in prison, and he doesn't see his father. I think Billy felt angry and resentful that his father wasn't in his life. There was a sense of abandonment.
No.
He was a
I
child
see a green flag finish is what I see.
But I am a little lost. He's a child who needs some guidance. When Billy was 8 years old, he was in 2nd grade. He got a new teacher, Mary Kay Letourneau, and it seemed like he had landed right where he needed to be.
My name is Julia Hefflinger, and I spent most of my elementary school years at Shorewood Elementary. My favorite teacher, still to this day, is Miss Letourneau. When you walked into her classroom and met her, it was kind of unreal because she's just this gorgeous, looks like a 1950s sitcom mom. She was so sweet. She just had this amazing demeanor. She was all about what was best for
Go back up front to the front, guys. They have increased their
so many fun and creative things for us.
their lead for 4 seconds. I don't think that.
The kitten.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys play it.
What teacher gets a kitten for their classroom? I've never heard of that, you know. Maybe a hamster or a turtle, but not a kitten.
She was absolutely great as a teacher. I was a little bit behind the other students, and she took her time, showed me everything that I wasn't understanding, and she was like that with the rest of the students in the class as well. They all adored her, and she treated children with respect, which was pretty uncommon for a teacher at the time.
She focused on kids who were troubled, or kids she thought she could really help because they were at risk. And she saw Billy as at risk. He was a child that came from an unstable family, and she wanted to mentor him. She recognized his talents and encouraged him with his art, and he seemed to flourish under that attention.
Sir, come around here.
Yesterday we discussed two things for Des Moines.
My name's Ann Bremner. I'm a trial attorney in Seattle. I became involved in this case when Billy Falau and his mother...
Now, just a reminder, the 4 payout is going to be a step-down process. So instead of it being 90, 90, 90, we're going to pay out 4 spots with the leader getting much, I shouldn't say much more, but they're going to get enough more, just so we have that hammered out.
It fascinates people.
The boy claimed he had a crush on his teacher from the 2nd grade onward, and he even tried to sneak a
Well, yeah, if they're splitting it, it won't matter. Just in case they're not, though.
I just wanted to see what she was wearing. You saw it, right? What was it? Just like she was kind of cream-colored, silky-looking shorts with,
So right now,
rough ends.
they're 4 seconds behind. So without some help, this race is going to end under green flag
The
conditions.
house in Normandy Park was in a lovely area, and Normandy Park itself is one of the more expensive neighborhoods. But I think that
Right on board
they were
with Jeffrey
often
Merck.
Probably living beyond their means just by their choices. So Steve would pull extra shifts so that he could earn more money. And having more kids than I had, they had more mouths to feed and more clothes to buy.
She and Steve fought quite a bit about money. Their finances were always a disaster. Couldn't pay the electric bill. Sometimes she could barely afford gas to drive to school. She'd tell me how, she'd talk to her mom, and she'd, tell her that they really needed financial help. And her mom wouldn't help her. It was just a constant drumbeat through that household of money, struggles, and fights. Because they didn't seem to have each other's back on this one. They weren't a united front. It was her versus him. And as time went by, her disdain for Steve became more and more apparent.
In October 1995, she learns
Looking back at Mr. Merck pushing
and it's devastating.
Mr. Dargent, it looks like it's going into his car.
She wants and needs sympathy, and by all accounts, her husband Steve wasn't very sympathetic, and that created another rift.
Back out front,
When
see
she
what
found out
happens.
that he had cancer, it was like a part of her shattered. And,
That is the
and
top
she
3, and
just
then you see the other pack
seemed to
behind
just
them.
slip down the rabbit.
Let's see how it ends. Now remember, we're paying out 4 spots tonight, so these 3 are in the money. That's the thing. We don't know how tempted they are going to be to run over each other. Typically, you'll see a caution at the end because they're going for it. You may see the 03 swing wide here. Not this lap, but next lap on the last corner to try and take the win. Or they may just stay in line and get their money and move on. What do you think, guys? You think we're going to get a green flag run here? What do you guys think?
PetSmart, anything for pets.
Allergies don't have to be scary. Spraying Flonase daily stops your body from overreacting to allergens all season long. Flonase, all good.
Pre-rinsing your dishes? You could be using the wrong detergent.
All right, we are on the last lap.
Skip the rinse with Finish Quantum.
Will there be some shenanigans?
Provides an unbeatable clean on 24-hour.
Or are they going to play it straight?
Skip the rinse with Finish to save our water.
Yeah. The race is over. They're only 2 seconds behind. They would have called them. They figured something out in that second gap, but they ain't going to catch them. Not now. I think it's likely that these guys are slowing down. Now you got Kenneth swinging wide. They are, this is for the win here. Little wreck in there. Little wreck in. Let's go back here to... All right, gentlemen, top 3 podium drivers. If you'd like an interview, go ahead and jump in to the Discord. All righty, so there we go. Good finish, green flag run. Not surprising. So here are our final unofficial results, and the reason why they're unofficial is because until I take a look at everything, which we didn't have any black flags for me to clear, so likely it is going to end in this fashion. But so let's go ahead and jump into Discord here. Let me talk to some drivers here and test out my interview skills. I'm going to hop into Broadcaster channel. I don't know if Joe's still around. It happens. Alright, so we got Kenneth, we got Alex, and we got Ron Strunk. I don't see Mr. Strunk in here. Mr. Strunk is up in here. Let's see if he's going to move up here. I don't know if he's... Got Mr. Strunk here. Come on, Mr. Strunk. Come on up. What about Kenny? Come on. Come on up. This is The Price is Right. Mr. Strunk. Strunkity dunk. Let's pull him up. I'm inquiring if they want to do an interview, because interviews aren't mandatory, so I don't want anyone to feel like they need to do an interview. But I don't want to pull them up without asking permission. So we will see what happens. Okay, so Mr. Strunk says, yeah, he wants one. I'll pull him up.
When Billy started 6th grade, he had his
Alright,
second grade
Mr.
teacher.
Strunk.
He's back in the classroom with Mary Kayla Turner. But he's not 8 years old anymore, he's 12 years old.
He'll get up here.
He's in puberty and he's having the raging hormones. At one point, she had to confiscate a pornographic magazine that he had brought with him to the classroom. And it seemed that she was trying to help him. She was trying to give him some discipline.
Alright, we'll have him here in a minute.
After class, there would definitely be a group
Hey,
of us
Mr. Ryan, how do you got me?
and
Got a copy?
sit in the classroom and hang out.
All right, Ryan. That race went green there. Did you expect to be up front there? Did you have plans to run with Alex and Kenneth all night?
Home right away.
Yeah, before the race we were talking
She would sometimes goof on it.
It's just the way that the pit strategy turned out. It was a few truck race for the win. Congratulations to Kenneth. Really cool guys to be running with. Gotta thank Jeff and FEGPC for putting this on. This was
Alrighty. We missed a little bit of your interview there, Ryan, due to me having the output in a different spot. But I do appreciate you coming out tonight and obviously working with Kenneth and giving him some thanks and stuff there. Do you have anybody that you want to thank? Any sponsors, friends, anyone that might be watching tonight's broadcast?
Appreciate them coming aboard, giving us a chance to come out and do these races. Gotta thank the FEG PC team just putting these races on. Super awesome to be able to compete for these races, and gotta thank Alex Hill and Kenneth for allowing me to tag along with them for this ride.
All right, Ryan, appreciate you guys coming out, and good job with your third place finish tonight, and hope to see you in some more FEG PC money races. I'm going to bring your partner up in crime there, Kenneth McCullough, and thank you for coming up here for a few minutes here in the broadcast booth.
Absolutely. Thank you for putting on this awesome broadcast. Can't wait to be checking it out.
All righty, Ryan. Take care, brother. Mr. McCullough, how are you doing, sir?
How you doing, Jeff?
Well, this is not a new spot for you. I was mentioning on the broadcast how you were one of our. I didn't mean to put the bullseye on your back, but you were one of our we'll just call it the most successful super speedway drivers out there, and it's an inspiration to all the other drivers out there. And this isn't being put out there to embarrass you because it's higher than mine, but Kenneth, one of our most successful super speedway racers, has a 1,965 I rating. But the super speedways take an extra bit of skill and different talents other than that other tracks don't have. So with that said, Kenneth, how are you so good at super speedways? And what is the key for those people who are out there who might want to race in future money events? What's some advice that you can give them without giving away all of your secrets?
The best advice I can give is have some good teammates. Teammates mean everything in this. Me and Christopher has been doing this like 10 years together, and that's why we're so good together, because we know every move that we're going to make without having to talk about it. As far as my I rating goes, I just don't run officials too much no more. I should probably be around 3,500, 4,000, but officials are rough.
Yeah, officials can be rough. I mean, these ones here can be rough too. We went green tonight, but we both know, especially when we have larger fields, and you get different teams out there, and everyone's the skill gap is quite a bit shrunk down in these super speedways. So things like pit stops and, like you said, working with other teammates makes a big difference. But we know that these usually in the last couple laps, everyone gets more aggressive, and that's when the cautions happen. So although it's not unheard of to go green, it is very typical to have a caution here at the end. But that didn't happen tonight, Kenneth. And you, Alex, and Ryan were able to stay up front, and good on you guys for that. So congratulations for another FEG PC Super Speedway win. And with that said, is there anyone out there that you'd like to give a shout out to, a thank you to, any sponsors, any friends, anything like that?
Yeah, I just want to thank them teammates for sticking with the plan. Like I say, without them, you're not much by yourself. I mean, you can get it done, but it's really hard. You got to have somebody that's committed. I'd like to thank you for putting these things on week in and week out. I have a blast doing it. Don't always finish up there, but still have fun racing for sure. I'd like to thank everybody that's watching the broadcast for sure.
Alrighty, Kenneth. I do appreciate you coming out, and hope to see you in future FEG PC events, which I'm sure I will. You make just about every single one of them.
Yes, sir. I'll be in every one I can for sure.
All right, Kenneth. You have a good night, and thank you for your time in the broadcast booth.
You too, man. Have a good one.
All right, brother. Alrighty, folks. Well, that cleans up the end of the Sunday Night Money Race. I do appreciate you guys all coming out. If you do me a little favor of hitting the little like button and the subscribe button before you head out, that would be greatly appreciated. And our next money race will be our midweek Wednesday fiasco. So join our Discord. It's pinned at the very top of the comments right now. You don't have to race to join it. But when you do want to race, that's where a lot of the information and registrations will be. So appreciate everybody coming out not only to drive, but to also watch a smaller field than usual tonight. 15 drivers. But they put on a heck of a show, and they made it happen under green flag conditions. So nothing to complain about there. So thank you guys for all coming out. And I don't have anything witty to say to finish off the broadcast, so I'm just going to go to the poster that we made. You guys have a good one, and I hope to see you in some next ones.